The eerie laughter in the woods. A park ranger named Mike was on his usual patrol through a remote area of the national park when he started hearing strange laughter echoing through the trees. At first, he thought it was a group of campers playing a prank, but the laughter had an unsettling quality, almost hollow. As he followed the sound deeper into the woods, it grew louder, turning into a cacophony of eerie giggles. Mike's heart raced as he stumbled upon a circle of abandoned toys, dolls with cracked faces, rusted swings, and a once vibrant merry-go-round. Suddenly, the laughter stopped. He felt an icy chill and turned to find shadowy figures surrounding him, their eyes glowing in the dim light. He sprinted back to his truck, vowing never to return to that spot again. The last call from the campfire. Story: during a summer job, a young ranger named Sarah was tasked with overseeing a campsite for families. One night, while sitting by the campfire, she received a call on her walkie-talkie from a nearby campsite. The voice on the other end was frantic, pleading for help, claiming they were being watched. Sarah quickly made her way to the campsite but found it empty, the fire still crackling and food half-eaten. As she searched the area, the temperature dropped suddenly, and she saw a figure in the distance, cloaked in shadows. The figure vanished as she approached. Back at the main campsite, Sarah learned that the family had disappeared months ago under similar circumstances. The case remained unsolved, leaving her haunted by unanswered questions. The silent hiker. A seasoned ranger named Tom was out on a routine hike when he encountered a man on the trail. The man was dressed oddly, in a weathered coat despite the warmth of the day. They exchanged pleasantries, but something felt off. There was a strange silence surrounding him. As they parted ways, Tom felt a sudden urge to turn back, but he shrugged it off. Later that evening, he learned from a colleague that a hiker had gone missing in the same area years ago, wearing the same distinctive coat. Intrigued, Tom researched the case, discovering the hiker had vanished without a trace, last seen on that very trail. The next morning, he returned to the area to search for clues but found nothing except the same eerie silence and the faint echo of a man's voice calling his name. The haunted lookout tower. Story: during his shift, a park ranger named Jeff was stationed at a lookout tower. As night fell, he began to hear whispers swirling through the wind, calling his name. Dismissing them as his imagination, he settled in for the night. Hours later, he was jolted awake by the sound of footsteps below. Peering through the tower's window, he saw a figure dressed in a ranger's uniform standing at the base of the tower, looking up at him. Confused, Jeff called out, but the figure only pointed towards the forest. Chilled to the bone, Jeff decided to investigate. When he reached the ground, he found nothing, just a cold breeze brushing against him. Upon returning to the tower, he discovered an old newspaper article about a ranger who had died in the line of duty years before. The last photo showed him standing in the same spot Jeff had seen the figure. The echo of the past. Story: while working in a historical park, a ranger named Lisa discovered an old cabin that was said to be haunted by a former resident. Intrigued, she decided to spend the night there to investigate the claims. As darkness fell, she began to hear soft whispers and felt a cold breeze despite the warm summer air. Curiosity turned to fear as she noticed the cabin's door creaking open on its own. Suddenly, a shadow passed by the window, followed by a loud bang. Lisa's heart raced as she grabbed her flashlight and headed outside. There, she found a figure resembling a woman in old-fashioned clothing staring at her. The apparition vanished, but Lisa was left shaken. The next day, she learned that the woman had been a local legend rumored to have died in a fire that consumed the cabin, and her spirit was said to seek out those who entered.